What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? All right, guys. So, obviously, when I came back, one of the first things I tried to do was B12 dungeons. So, I went through my runes. I was able to do B12 dragons, slow team. B12 giants, again, slow team. I ended up having to go back to my old B10, B12, B10 giants team. Part of it, like the core team. I'll make a video about that another time. But B12 Necro has been absolute murder for me. And how did I fix that? That's the thing, okay? I ended up having to go back to the basics, watching the runs, trying to figure out exactly what's going on, because he would take a different monster all the time and try and build a safe run, a reliable run, and a decently fast run. Because over 2 minutes really wasn't my thing with that dungeon. So this is the team I have now. I'm going to show another variation of the team that pretty much works properly, and I'll show the runes as well. But this team has not failed. Let me rephrase that. It failed on me once when I built it, and that's because I tried to do it with a level 30 Rauk. Once I got Rauk up to level 34 and he had a certain amount of hit points, he was able to survive, and it hasn't failed on me once since then. And the key to this team being so safe is the double heals now from the panda, and he also cleanses everything. That was a cool buff. I realized that out of nowhere. I didn't even read his skill. I didn't think that he got buffed like that. Ergar, his skill 3 is a lot better than people give it credit for, and his leader ability is just great. And the rune quality on this team really is not amazing. I'll show you guys the rune quality. They're all, most of them are throwaway runes. Ergar has the original runes he came with, except for 3. I ended up swapping out a couple because I needed a little bit more crit rate and some accuracy for Steel Crypt, because I use him in Steel Crypt as well. So the reason why this team is so safe, if you see the turn order, Panda goes first, Ergar goes second, then is the Inugamis, and then is Shaman. It's 100% guaranteed Shaman's going to get taken. It's all right, 99% guaranteed Shaman is going to get taken. I've seen a run or two where one of the Inugamis gets taken, but that's so rare, and it still doesn't fail then. Because one of the problems was, like, I would go on YouTube and check out what people are running. They would run triple boomerang or whatever, double boomerang and a chakram dancer, or double chakram dancer and a boomerang, whatever they were running. I think Shy Natalia and Sabrina, so that's double dancer and boomerang. But and then Inugami. Let's see what we got here, other than the Chumley dungeon. Garbage. All right. Even though, let me tell you something, Necro has been treating me really good. Necro treats me a lot better than giants and dragons. Because Necro has runes that are actually pretty good to use between Nemesis, Will, and Rage, and Vampire. It's very important to farm Necro, in my opinion. Vampire is not as important, but they're still important because there are big monsters that use Vampire runes. But I've been concentrating a lot on Necro, plus the mana, and Necro is just amazing. But so that turn order and them being able to pretty much, it's guaranteed every single time, because with the boomerangs I would either get a boomerang that violent proc me to death, or then Rauk would go and he would violent proc me to death. You would end up getting him to do a team up with the boss, and it's like, okay, it failed. It just drives me a little crazy. And I've tried so many variations with the boomerangs, adjusting the speed, between adjusting the speed, adjusting their hit points, adjusting everything, it wasn't 100% consistent. This has been 100% consistent. I'll even show one other variation that's a little bit more attainable, because some people didn't summon the Light Griffin. The problem is that you would have to make your Beliger. So we saw 2 runs on this. You would have to make your Beliger. So Beliger is a good replacement for this dude over here, the Shaman. I'll show that. Let's see. Where is Beliger? And where is he? Oh, there he is. And I'll show all the runes at the end, guys. But yeah, Necro was a very big problem for me, and the runes in Necro are super important. I need to make a Fat Lucian. I haven't made a Fat Lucian yet. I need to make... I got the runes for Belagar. I could do BJR 5-5. Now I just got to Devilmon him a little bit. But it works. I just want him with a little bit more damage. I'm getting closer to a Fat Lucian. What else? My will runes have improved drastically because that was one of my biggest problems. My nemesis runes improved drastically. I summoned the Juno. I needed nemesis runes for Juno. I have Praha. I needed better nemesis runes for Praha. Obviously, they need despair, so I have to go back into Giants because I need better despair runes, but just the nemesis alone. My will runes for Fran, Lauren. You know, Fran and Lauren, they're so stat hungry. Well, yes and no. Like Fran needs hit point. Fran especially, she needs hit point, attack, speed. It's a lot. Defense is good for her. Some accuracy, even though accuracy is not important, but some accuracy would be nice. A little bit into accuracy. Look, Belagar is working because you have the two. You have the two buffs, so you're going to be able to get him at 4, and he does enough damage. Now it's not every single turn, but this is consistent because he's the one that's mainly doing the biggest damage on him. So you can end up, if he gets taken away, like right now, your Inugamis are going to finish him really quick. So this is probably the safest run. And remember, in Necro, it's not your hardest hitting monster that he takes. He takes the monster that hits him the hardest that round. That's why it keeps changing, and you can't really control exactly what's going on, especially with violent procs. I'll show a run also with Crow, just so you guys could see where I'm coming from on this one. Now, it doesn't fail. It just slows down the run drastically. And I haven't seen it fail, but personally, I'm not a fan of using these 3 Inugamis. It's just for the fact that and you got to understand something. Crow is not on Violent Runes. He's actually on Fatal Blade. And you got to have your attacker that's going to hit him the hardest on something like that so that they don't violent proc you to death, just to make your runs that consistent. And even Crow Crow doesn't have enough hit points. That's the thing. Sometimes he doesn't survive, or there's not enough damage being done for him to survive, or it's like one of many things. Or Crow will end up doing a team up against one of your Inugamis, and then your Inugami doesn't die, but he's on really low hit points, and by the time you get a turn, your Inugami dies by the next turn. And then it just slows down the run, and then there's possibilities of failing. At least with these 2 teams I showed you, one is fairly consistently fast. It ranges anywhere from that 58 seconds all the way up to 2 minutes. But it's consistent within that window. Usually it's in the bottom half of a minute and a half, so it's anywhere from a minute to a minute and a half. And then if you just get RNG'd a little bit, it'll go up to 2 minutes, but it's not going to fail. It just doesn't fail. Like right now, we're going to have this issue. Let's see if he's going to take Crow. All right, he's going to take Crow, team up. All right, he didn't hit one of the Inugamis, which I'm surprised. If he would have hit one of the Inugamis, it would have been game over for one of the Inugamis. This run is actually not a worst case scenario run. But Crow's about to die. If you see properly. If he uses Scar though right now, it's over. All right, it's over. But as you can see, there are ways of getting a worst case scenario. Let's go over the runes real quick. Replay. All right. I switched this rune, and this rune. I needed a little bit more accuracy and crit rate because his second skill is actually worth something in everywhere. Actually, it's worth something. I use him for. I don't really use him for Rift because I have Perna, but I use him for Steel Crypt and Steel Crypt or Steel Fortress, whatever you want to call it. And Steel Fortress is what it's called. And this dungeon. Sometimes I use them randomly in Giants just because I haven't built like a really, really extremely consistent Giant speed run. I have a consistent Giants run, but I try and tinker with some other things. So these are his runes. These are the original runes, and these are the runes I switched out, and it was just for accuracy and a little bit more crit rate. And I have this on him, attack increasing effect, which works with his ability. The panda. Oh, by the way, Erger and the panda are both max skilled. So the panda's runes are actually pretty good. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. Then these runes are just almost complete throwaway runes. It's just this. As you can see, I did it with lowest. This is my team. This is my regular. These are my regular runes. My regular team. This is kind. This is. It's there for the attack increasing effect. That's about it. I gotta change that artifact altogether because it's not doing much. So, as you can see again, and here are the overall stats. Nothing special. This Rauk doesn't even have plus 1,000 attack. Well, if you count my towers, it does. And then we have this speed increasing effect, which this is in damage received from dark. That's another reason why I did it. And then speed under an ability. And then this one's skill 1 crit damage. That's mainly why it's there. Additional damage by 24% speed. That's redundant in this dungeon because the speed is capped. But it gives more. But it gives more damage. And then damage dealt by counterattack. Cool. He doesn't counterattack. He doesn't have revenge. As you can see, he's not skilled up with the 2A. Neither of them are skilled. Ooh. Neither of them are skilled up 2A. This is my Crow. I really don't like using Crow in this dungeon, but these are his runes. They're all throwaway runes. Honestly, they're not that great. 76% accuracy. He's got a lot of attack, but that's because he has a fatal set on him, and his crit damage needs a lot of help. So let's take a look at. So Belliger is my R5 Belliger. So this is it's just there for the fire artifact and the additional damage by 8% attack. Speed increasing effect, which I think only works with buffs. This one, I'm not, or is it off the base speed? I don't remember. But attack proportional to lost HP, which makes my second round a lot better. Speed proportional to lost hit points, which gets him moving a little bit more. And then crit damage received minus 1%. These are mainly on for the attack plus 100. These are his overall stats. These are his runes. His runes are actually really good. It's going to be hard to. I actually got these runes though from farming when I got Shaman. Just the rage runes that have been dropping are absolutely insane. So this rune needs improvement because again, this is for BJR5. 32% crit damage. I couldn't believe I got this rune when I got it. It's amazing. It's whoa. Then this one's great too. I have another one that actually worked out. I had to pluck this rune from him because I raid with a couple of people and their overall BJR5 team is faster than the average BJR5 team. I don't know why they did it that way, but I needed to sync mine with theirs. And not only that, I'm just a little bit less speed or like right about there. And I'm able to work with slower BJR5 teams too. So if I'm not raiding with them, I raid with other people and it works out perfectly fine. I'm a little bit faster than most people, but it's not most people. I'm a little bit faster than most other people that are doing BJR5 between my overall team. But this actually works out pretty good because usually I see like a plus 30 and plus whatever. I got him at plus 51. My Colleen and my Colleen is at like 160 something speed, and my what's her name? My how do I forget her name? Lauren. My Lauren is at like 160 something speed as well. So it looks like the damage doesn't work out that much. Once I get his third skill maxed out, the damage is fine. I think his last hit is around 32k. So you really don't need much more than that. And then if you increase, you get a lot more damage if you max out that third skill. That's the Belliger. And then let's take a look at Shaman. Where is Shaman? Where is Shaman? Shaman, where are you? Oh, he might be in storage. Okay. If he's in storage, he's in storage. There he is. Alright, so Shaman is just... Honestly, these runes are complete throwaway runes. I was just looking for crit rate and attack. And somehow the speed got in there, and that's why I ended up having to put speed on my Rauks. I actually want to slow him down, put him on full, like nothing but attack, and get the Rauks with just speed from substats and get him faster. I think that would improve my run drastically. Or get him down to like 120 speed and speed up the Rauks somehow. But that's not going to happen until later. And then I'm planning on building the triple Ikaru team, so I really don't have to concentrate on the Rauks that much. So I'm in like a catch-22 that's not even worth getting into. So I may not even do it. I'm just telling you of ways that I can improve the team. So as I said, I just looked for crit rate and attack substats. That's it. And this rune is this is a legendary rune. No, it's not. It just rolled double. It rolled double attack on me. Fine, whatever. But as you can see, and he's not skilled up Second Awaken. It works amazing. This team has not failed on me once. I got into it with Bagel on his stream on how good he is for Necro. And he's like, yeah, but he's worthless. He only hits hard. If you use it strategically, properly, the way I'm telling you, is Panda first. Either Panda or Egger. It doesn't matter. I just prefer the Panda first. Panda first, Egger, then the Rauks, and then him. It's like 99% of the time, he's going to get taken. He's not going to do any damage to the Egger because his second skill is based off of the enemy's max HP. So he doesn't do that much damage. There's no team up. There's no violent runes on him. I highly suggest not to put him on violent runes. He does a ton of damage. Like if there's an armor break and he does his second skill, he literally takes like 3/4 of the boss. If not 3/4, 60% of the boss's hit points. You can't go wrong with him. And then he has that heal on his first kill. The heal actually comes in handy sometimes. It's not needed, absolutely. It's more for the damage, just to kill the boss. Because the longer you're in that dungeon, the stronger that boss gets, and it's harder to beat him. So I actually really, really love this team. This is my most consistent team. Can't find anything more consistent. I can't use the chakrams or the boomerangs. It's also, I can't use them also because they're not max skilled. But like my Talia is not max skilled and my Shine is not max skilled. And I know we had that Hall of Heroes. I still haven't even maxed out one of them. I think I can max out Talia over Shina, or is it I can max out Shayna over Talia. I think Shayna's the one that takes the less skill ups because Shayna has the passive. So I'm a little torn on that one because I kind of want to max out Talia. I don't use the boomerangs that much. So I kind of want to max out Talia just so that she can do more damage in World Boss. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do exactly, but I need a lot of that food. So if you don't have that food, double Rauk, and you can do this with different attackers. If you have like a really huge wind attacker that I can't really think of right now, like maybe him. I don't suggest using the Wind Phoenix. He's too squishy for this dungeon. I personally don't have. Oh well, you can use her. You can absolutely use her. At least I believe you can use her. Let's try her out. We'll do one more run. You can use him. He should work. Actually, I think I like him better. But not a lot of people are going to build him. Him, I think he can do a lot of that, but there has to be debuffs. There has to be more debuffs on the boss. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick look. It's probably going to slow down the run. I really haven't... I tried him once or twice, but not with this particular team. But the reason why I would suggest a wind attacker is so that the Rogs can just take him out. One shot, boom, you're good to go. Actually, the Rog, he might actually be really good because the Rogs will be setting his cooldown lower. So he might work if you have him built 6-star. Would you 6-star him just for this dungeon? I don't think so. I don't regret 6-starring him because I use him in my Water Rift. It's works pretty well. He does a ton of damage. So depends on what you want to build and how you want to do it, stuff like that. Uh, I think I think Yen might just be a little bit better. Not that much better because her damage is good, but it's really more dot damage that you're gonna end up with. So it'll work. It's just not gonna be as fast. We'll try one more with Yen. Like, I'm winging this video, so I planned on just doing those 3 runs and that's it. But now I ended up seeing them and I thought of a suggestion that'll work. So that's another thing actually. He'll end up slowing the boss down. I forgot about that. He'll put a slow and an attack break, I believe he puts. I know he puts the attack break. No, yeah, it's a slow and an attack break. He doesn't block beneficial effects. So this actually can be a little bit of a slower run. And look at that. He did a ton of damage with that second skill. He's really not that bad. People hate on him a little bit. I don't know why. And he has a multi-hit. This run is going okay. It's not as fast as Shaman. Shaman just does so much more damage. I want to see his third skill. All right. He did about... His runes aren't that great. I'll show the runes. Let's just do one with... Let's make sure she's ruined. She should be ruined, though. Oh. See, we messed up already. You know what? I'll just end it so we don't make this video that long. Replay, we'll do a... No, I could have cut it out, but I have a class that's starting in 5 minutes. So I'd like to render this while I'm in class. I know, and I'll say it, we'll get into it. She has runes. Again, her stats aren't that great, but we'll just run this. And if you hear the ambulance outside, sorry. Apparently, the ambulance and fire trucks, so somebody's on fire. Yep, they're going crazy outside. I live 2 blocks away from a firehouse, so it's impossible not to hear that. And then I also live on a busy street in the city, so sometimes it's impossible not to hear cops either. So, yeah. Almost every night when I walk my dog, there's a cop driving by or doing something. Something's always going on. Something is always going on. There's never a dull moment where I live. Even during the whole this whole thing that's been going on this year, there hasn't been a dull moment. Not one at all. So she's a little too fast. Okay, so we didn't speed through this properly. But let's see how it goes. Obviously, if I slow down her speed, I think the Rauk's going to end up destroying her, though. That's what's going to end up happening. But you guys get the point, though. You're gonna... I didn't check her speed. Yep, and then Rauk, and then boom. All right, so the Rauk didn't violent proc. Really, what you want is to get her going last, but she takes so many turns. Actually, it's just insane. And then yeah, it dies. But this should be able to cover it. They should be able to. Yeah, that's it. But it's not a safe run because you see Rauk got taken away. Let me just end this. So you see Rauk got taken away. If Rauk would have violent proc, that it would have been over, completely over in that run. Anyways, guys. I also am playing on my baby account on global. So it's the same name. It's just that everything is in lowercase. Because I was working on a video this weekend and I couldn't get it to work properly. And if you guys really want to know, I ended up plucking runes. So I have a 2A Shannon. I have a 2A Bernard. I have a 2A Billadion. I ended up plucking so many runes. And to be honest with you, I didn't have to pluck her. I was using her in B10 Giants, and when I was using her as a 6-star max, she was missing runes. I completely missed that. I 2-8'd her, and then I'm like, and she was still dying on me, and then I go and I check the runes, and I'm like, First of all, she didn't have a completed despair set. She didn't. I think she was missing 2 or 3 runes. I don't know, but she was just dying on me, and it was working pretty well. It's just that I was wondering why she was dying at all. And then a 2A, I have a 2A Griffin and a 2A Belladion, and these are not his runes. As you can see, I did like throwaway runes just to try and get it to the stats. It's like almost impossible for me to get it with the stats without the towers. So I wanted to make a couple of beginner videos again. I'm not going to show the progression completely with it. I don't think I want to show the not that I don't want it, it's just that I don't have the time to make to do it that way. The only reason why I'm even considering doing this is because there's auto farming, and I could just leave it and let it go for a while on my second device. I'd rather concentrate more on this account. Also, if I summon anything that I really, really need on this account and it ends up on that account, I will be livid for a very long time. That's one of the reasons why I don't have an alt account, really. It's because I don't want to summon anything that I need on this account, because I feel like all my luck is going to go to that one, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just make it with a few free-to-play monsters and try and get runes and stuff like that. Barely summon. Like I do mystical scrolls here and there, because they're giving you mystical scrolls like crazy. They're giving you legendary scrolls like crazy. Anyway, let me not just so. I'm in a guild. I forgot the name of the guild. I'm surprised they accepted me because it's a level 26, 27 account. But I need some people to help me with R2 and R3 just so I could get to the 2As. And there's nobody. There's people, believe it or not, on global, there's people running R1, but there's nobody running R2 and 3. But R1, I didn't have a problem getting into an R1. I was really, really surprised at that. And there were people consistently farming R1 last night. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, one of them was amazed he got a scroll. And I'm like, I don't know why you're farming R1. Didn't want to listen to me. He's like, oh, you're a level 26 and whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not going to get into that. And like, from what I've noticed, the trolls in the chats are all powerful at this point in this game. It's actually pretty crazy. At least in these chats, yeah, not everybody speaks English, so I don't understand everything that's going on in the Asia server, but yeah, and to be honest with you, in the chats in the global server, they're all speaking English, and I still don't understand what's going on because chat's moving and it's random things. You go into I went into the 420 channel just because I used to hang out in 420 all the time. Conspiracy theories and this and that, and I'm like, okay, I can't. And then you got one guy dogging our entire educational system and whatever. He's my friend, but it's like they get into serious conversations and then the conspiracy theories happen, and it's like, can I really take you guys seriously? Really? Anyways, guys, that was just a weird rant. If anybody can help me out, it's NickDaGreek. It's just lowercase. That doesn't matter. It's just NickDaGreek. You can't send me friend requests, so I'll be hanging out in 420. Come and find me in 420. Come in there and tell me whatever, and I will. I need the help to get it in rep monsters and to do R2 and R3. Apparently, my guild, I don't know. I ask them something, and they consider me a complete noob. So it's all right, and I am on that server. I am a complete noob. So it's all right. All right, whatever. At least you guys accepted me. Maybe I'll do a couple of guild wars on that account. Even though I have nothing 6-starred, and get the points and do what I gotta do. Get that 5-star Rainbow Mon every week. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to everybody later.